Yeah, we suck right now.
Culture is seriously. Like, I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes.
This video's partaking in the age of Sportsball is brought to you this week by ExpressVPN. You ever notice when you look something up online, you magically get ads targeted towards what you bought recently? There's a big reason for it. Data brokers collect your online data and trace it back to your IP address, then sell it off to the highest bidder. Perhaps businesses, foreign companies, or even government agencies. Think of it like being sacked with 30 seconds left, yet allowing the clock to run to nothing while you have a timeout in your pocket. Nobody would do that in real life, right? Why would I risk it with my data? ExpressVPN makes sure that my internet journeys are encrypted when using any form of public Wi-Fi. At the coffee shop or hotel, I'm covered. Everybody hates ads, and people love finding ways to avoid them. ExpressVPN makes it significantly harder for advertisers to track your internet footprint. Plus, I've used it more than a few times to access things hampered by region locks. If you're into baseball, you understand the pain. What if I were to tell you that you could get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free? All you have to do is scan the QR code on screen, click the link in the description, or go to expressvpn.com/utree. Internet privacy should be priority number 1 for any user. And ExpressVPN's the way to go to get the best protection possible. Now on to the football. Amazing what can happen on Thursday night when teams are allowed a full week of rest. Almost as if it makes for some good football. Offensive might and defense is breaking down due to injuries on both sides. The Lions are down to pass prime Quan Alexander and Jamal Adams. The statement's absolutely justified. The result is a seesaw. Team goes up, team goes down. Team goes round and back downtown. Both groups trading blows in the art of war. With the occasional Jared Goff pick and quick touchdown drive to overcome a 10-point deficit. Oh, come on, we know Detroit's not into this whole losing thing. What'd you expect to happen? If you didn't guess another touchdown drive, then you're the fool. Tim Patrick scoring touchdowns in 2024. Let's fucking go. Now the Lions should be pulling away with this one, but the old vice rears its ugly head. I know Dan's the epitome of aggressive on 4th down, but going for it on your own 30? A high-risk, low-reward play and you're running a halfback toss? Worst case scenario did indeed happen. A quick touchdown for Green Bay. But Detroit's pretty good at resilience. More throws crushing the Packers' defense. More yards being eaten away. More touchdowns to Tim Patrick. With Detroit up by 3 late, the situation is perilous. The Packers know they need a touchdown to keep up with the Lions' attack. Marching down against a better defense will keep being so with a goal line push and touchdown. Scratch that offensive pass interference. The only result from this point forward is failure. They have to settle for a field goal. Detroit ain't giving that ball back, boys. Everyone knows this. Pushing right into field goal range with no sweat at all. Oh no, there's a 4th and 1 with less than a minute left. Look, if Dan Campbell's gonna go for it on his own 30, he'll certainly go for the kill here. I'd have done the same damn thing. This defense is full of car salesmen and insurance agents at this point. They weren't making another stop. Now cue Jake Bates.
Ball game. And what a game.
Green Bay has once again been humbled in the face of fire. You love to see it. Campbell's relentless aggression might burn him again in the future, but he don't give a shit. The playoffs await, and the number 1 seed lies in the balance. We need to exile the Jags and Titans to where they belong. Mid-season Thursday night football. This was absolute garbage. I don't blame any of you for not watching. Jacksonville is shit and Tennessee is shit. End of story. The fact that we even have to waste breath discussing such an abomination is a testament to the failings of late-stage football. Fodder for Sparrow-Ditas on the call and about 3 people eager to see a team win a game. Shameful displays, yet someone has to win. Sadly for Duval, the Titans can only kick field goals. Jaguars did the worst thing imaginable. Drive to score a touchdown. Wrecking their tank with a tank. The irony isn't lost on us. Congratulations, Jacksonville. You won a meaningless game and in the process potentially fucked yourselves out of Travis Hunter. One more win and you'll be reaching a worst-case scenario not even seen with a carmaker's failed rebrand. Tennessee will join you in that situation.
Miss!
What do you get when you have a team that literally can't do anything on offense against a team undone by themselves? A total dumpster fire. The banner before the game was a harbinger of what was to come. Both these teams embraced the spirit of what Tank Bowl should be. Awful football, especially on the offensive side of things. The only rewards for the poor souls that drank themselves into a stupor in the parking lot are stalled drives and punting, especially by the Giants. And if New York can even do anything, it's undone by brutal penalties. Nolans may have a 14-3 lead, but that doesn't mean the agony can't continue. New York commits the horrible crime of making this a one-score game with a touchdown drive. So Tank enthusiasts are forced to pay attention to this monstrosity for the sake of draft position. You'd think it'd be over after Drew Lock gifting them a pick on 4th down. But I have horrible news for those of you that wanted an uneventful game. The Saints have to punt it back. But it's a final drive and the G-Men can't do shit with the ball, though. Oh no. Danger! Danger! The Giants are ruining their tank. I repeat, the Giants are trying to fuck up their quest for a new QB. Horsecock Lock has driven them down near the goal line. They are trying to tie the game with time winding down. God save us all.
Kreider the snap. Gillen the hold. The kick no good.
Whew, I was worried New York was going to try to win or something. Don't be sad, Giants fans. You're one step closer to Ward, Sanders, or Aller. That block was huge for the future. New Orleans can have the meaningless victory. They aren't doing shit with it anyway. Know how I know this? Derek Carr has a fractured non-throwing hand. Any extremely slim chance of going somewhere? It's got. Have fun. The G-Men have serious competition for that number 1 spot. Las Vegas might wish this season were over, but Antonio Pierce is the finest tank master that might be out of a job after the year. Tampa Bay did their best to piss away this game with Baker doing his best famous Jameis impression, but the Raiders will never be denied their grand prize. They control their own destiny to the first overall pick. The players and coaches may rebuff such a glory, but the future is what really matters. They will do everything in their power to lose this contest, even if it means suffering horrific injury. AOC, your efforts as tanker-in-chief are failing Vegas in their time of need. Their executives will hire a hitman to force you out of commission for the year. They desire a real tank commander, and that man is Desmond Ridder. Perfection in the art of securing number 1. Tampa Bay eventually gets their shit together and pulls away to secure a lead in the divisional clown car known as the NFC South. It's been ugly, and they have no business being there, but the Bucs have a strong shot of hosting a home playoff game. Remember to thank the Raiders if they get there. This free win will surely go a long way in helping them out. Sometimes you just have to remember the golden rule of Steeler football. When in doubt, trust the other team to repeatedly self-destruct. They were the better team in more than a few metrics, but this tale is one of the Browns repeatedly cutting themselves off at the knees. Sometimes that's all you need to get revenge for a snow globe game. It's standard black and gold fare otherwise. Use a balanced defensive attack to drive the ball and suffocate their offense with a vaunted front 4. Even without George Pickens, Russell Wilson and Najee Harris make easy work of this battered unit. Their 10th win comes without a sweat. Then Browning happened. Famous Jameis has been blessed by the Lord and delivered from pick 6s. He wasn't delivered from his terribly delicious turnover vice. As he ponders this cruelty, Dustin Hopkins continues his quest to shank some of the easier kicks an NFLer can make. I swear, Chris Boswell usurped the power of every AFC North kicker for his own gain this year. And Kadarius Toney. Oh, you thought he was working at a Publix somewhere in Florida? No, he's trying to get himself cut from another team. Brain-dead personal foul penalties are merely the start of his idiocy. New York celebrates the greatest victory on the day. A muffed punt which all but sealed the game for Pittsburgh. Kadarius may be a 2-time Super Bowl champ, but he's only winning locale of the week from this point forward. Chance to sweep Pittsburgh for the first time since 1988 has been lost. And this season is yet another lost one in a sea of them. Factory of Sadness truly is in overdrive.
Miss.
Kirk Cousins returns to the land that made him Herschel Walker without giving up draft picks. Oh, how the crowd loves him in this performance. I'm not being ironic, they loved him in ways he didn't expect. There's a reason why many in the football world didn't shed tears when they let him go. Sam Darnold's performance is an intriguing side effect of such a decision. Part of me wonders if he bribed the Falcons secondary to take a dive. Good God, this defense is atrocious! What the hell is D. Alford doing? That long touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson? That shit that gets you benched in high school. Well, that's not to say that Darnold wasn't dominant. 5 touchdowns and just under 350 yards passing more than proved that. The same can't be said for Kirko. The chains now bind him into terrible play. In this 4-game stretch of fail, when the Falcons have absolutely needed him, he's thrown for no touchdowns and 8 picks. The worst of his career, and his future legacy when we're old and gray. Almost as if you inexplicably drafted a quarterback 8th overall for this scenario, but no, Cousins will still be starting. Any other chance at coming back will be undone by a kickoff return fumble. The Vikings not dancing through raindrops. They obliterated these fools and leave Detroit with little room for error. Making me eat my words from last week. Well done. Carolina's record's deceiving. They may be 3-9, but the Panthers have been improving rapidly ever since their disastrous starts. Think of it like the Steve Wilkes interim run, but with insanely terrible luck. It showed again versus the Eagles. Marching into a hated coliseum of pigskin, they'll refuse to let Philly walk all over them. Scratch that, I should say they won't let them throw over their heads. Saquon's gonna be Saquon no matter what the Panthers try to do. I'm surprised the Eagles have a minimal passing attack as of late. All that talent on their roster and they're forced to rely on Jalen's feet and Saquon going God mode? They need to find their wings again and fast. The underdog has matched the heavily favored adversary with a little good fortune on their side. We not only laugh at the Eagles, we laugh at the dude who bet $3 million on the Philly money line. But the memories are fleeting. With their legs, Eagles move down the field and secure a touchdown to the loving arms of Grant Calcaterra. Carolina and Bryce will have a chance to respond. And they do. For a short time. They get to field goal range, but the 4th and short fails to convert. Their good fortune has ended. Now Philly has a chance to kill them off. The Eagles burn time, but nowhere near enough. And the tension at the link will reach a fever pitch. Philly's used to it, yet this is a new magic to them. Bryce Young single-handedly overcoming one of the best defenses in the NFL. This really is a new age of football. These boys can't escape the might of Carolina. A drive that started on the 2-yard line being masterfully crafted by a man left for dead. The Necronomicon has very unnatural abilities, and Bryce will show them to you.
Another blitz from Philadelphia. Young leaves it for the get, who lunges out and tumbles down. It's ruled incomplete by the near side official. And it is an incomplete pass.
Are you fucking kidding me? It happened to Carolina again? Xavier Leggett, you're a first-round pick. You have to catch that shit. Bryce couldn't have thrown that any better. The chance to be a hero and you muff it like everything else this franchise touches. Like Jonathan Brooks re-tearing his ACL right after coming back, agony that's par for the course. Philadelphia proceeds to gallop away on the legs of Saquon to safety. Such a shame. This could have been true hilarity for all of us to witness. Maybe it happens again in January. No margin for error, Dolphins. The Jets may be dead men walking, tormented by locales of past and present, but Miami's got their own problems to worry about. Mostly that their offense is good, yet it can't convert most of their opportunities into touchdowns in the early going. Jason Sanders is a quality kicker, but if you don't have an unbelievable defense, it's going to be more than a cardiac event. Guess who doesn't have the greatest unit on that end? If you guess Miami, you're correct and win nothing. It might not be the worst one on the field here somehow, but it just goes to show the struggles they must endure. Aaron Rodgers of old has made his return in the Miami sun. His first game throwing for over 300 yards since being immunized. I didn't realize it had been that long. And thanks to his resurgence and an offense finally starting to live up to preseason hype, the Jets have an 8-point lead in the 4th quarter. We know that isn't lasting too long. It's a touchdown and tie game faster than you can say Tunga Vailoa. Pretty corny. It's about par for the course with this channel. Don't forget to dislike and unsubscribe. After short drives by both teams, New York has a chance at glory for once. Pushing the envelope and making things very steamy down here. The Jets can finish these fools in their playoff dreams in one fell swoop, yet they can't. They settle for the field goal. Trusting the defense would have been a very sound decision. If this were 2023, this New York Sack Exchange is cratered as if it's a shitcoin. Get a celebrity endorsement, get them a few bucks, then pull the rug on the suckers that bought in. Miami gets into field goal range for the sake of Colonel Sanders' leg, and he delivers his unique blend in between the uprights for overtime. You think Aaron's gonna get a shot to win it? Sorry kids, these are Jonnu Smith hours. Arthur Smith swells with pride somewhere in Pittsburgh because this offense apparently runs through him. The deadliest weapons are the ones you save for last.
Good time to the end zone. Got it! Smith, touchdown! The Dolphins win!
Miami scrapes by with the most crucial of wins to keep their season alive. The car may be all but totaled and missing both side mirrors, but it got to the finish line. The inevitable outcome for the Jets is confirmed. A mighty fine butt fumble they've unleashed on the football world. The jetsiest jetting that's been jetted in a good bit.
Miss.
Bears fans, I have fantastic news to announce. Chicago will not suffer an agonizing loss in the last seconds of the game this week. They'll be finished before they even step onto the field of play. San Francisco was more than eager to humiliate someone for the agony they've suffered all season. Why not a perennial locale franchise sitting in front of them? It turned into slaughter in no time at all. The Niners had over 300 yards of offense at halftime. Chicago had all of 4. More stunned, they even got a first down in such a shitfest. The Niners may be avoiding the inevitable, but they'll destroy whatever's in their way to give them the illusion of hope for the immediate future. Brock Purdy had himself an outstanding game, and the Niners do see him as the cornerstone of the franchise moving forward. The question is who's going to be cut off to make it happen. You wish you were players on the Bears, but that isn't how a salary cap works. They'll just accept their 7th straight loss and call it a day. Good lord, what a disaster in front of us. I'm talking about both franchises, to be honest. The Niners are now down yet another running back. Soon enough, they might be trying to get AP out of retirement. This has somehow become a battle for the NFC West. Stranger things may have happened in a time long lost to scribes, but this is definitely a situation incomprehensible to the logical mind. Perhaps this also relates to Kyler Murray as an athlete. All the talent in the world, but he keeps throwing it away to the other team with terrible interceptions. The cock tease burns them again. These repeated fuck-ups in the early game undid Arizona and their dreams of divisional glory. Personally, I find it amazing that the Seahawks of all teams have a strong chance of hosting a playoff game in January. The NFC West has become a shithouse full of injuries and failure, and Seattle simply fell to the ground and found a bountiful harvest next to them. I wonder if the Cardinals will find a way to stop Zach Charbonnet. Perhaps in a different timeline? If they did, Arizona may not be seeing their sudden surge go to the wayside. This loss was brutal for any chance of this stunning playoff berth. There's been progress in Glendale, but not enough of it. They have to ask themselves some deep questions about the franchise. And Arizona might not like what those reveal. Get yourself some mirror and gaze at the imperfections. Seattle will buy it for you guys. Hell, they'll pay for the shipping too. Remember the Week 1 slaughter of the Rams at the hands of the Bills a few seasons ago? LA's been circling this date on their calendar for a while now. They're gunning for revenge in the most insatiable of ways. And it'll be with the power of offensive might. If you're a defense in this contest, feel free to take the day off. This game's gonna be a throwback to 2019 football. These quarterbacks are merely gonna use them as decorative pieces to concoct artistry on the field. Over 900 yards combined on the day. Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford putting together a show that bedazzles the many in attendance and watching on TV. The odds were all but impossible, but LA managed to stay ahead and pull through at the end of the day. What a gutsy performance by the Rams. Their backs against the wall in a must-win situation with everyone doubting them, and they potentially save their season in the process. Puka Nacua is a man possessed by spirits beyond this realm. That's the only explanation I have for his heroics. Huge reception after huge reception, bringing LA's season from the brink of despair to an aura not seen since their Super Bowl run. An upset of upsets. And they can safely say they beat them without cheap parlor tricks. Buffalo tries everything they can to get back in the game, but their defensive unit can't make a stop to save their lives. Don't trust them with anything related to that, it'll burn them in the end. And the result might have cost them a chance at the number 1 seed. Josh Allen chose to install the Joe Burrow simulator on his computer. He threw for 3 TDs, ran for 3 TDs, yet still lost in the end. Bills fans can bitch about ref ball all they please, but the real villain is one in their ranks. Sean McDermott is a 1st and goal down by 9 late with all 3 timeouts. Yet he runs a quarterback sneak to no avail, and he burns a timeout. The game was over right there. 40 precious seconds off the clock. It's the Texans game all over again. Well done, Sean. I haven't seen a situation crash to the ground like that since Shanksville. Maybe next time you'll waste another immaculate Allen game with your defensive genius like you always do. Welcome back to hell. It's a land where the NFL fandom will be gaslit into thinking the Chiefs aren't masters of Deus Ex Machina and dark magic. Prepare for illusions and demon spawn unimaginable to the human mind. Scholars of the game cannot comprehend the ways in which they will torment their prey. Suffocating the Chargers in the first half is not enough. The 13-0 lead at halftime is far too boring an outcome. They have to let their guard down for the sake of game manipulation. You can't let your opponent believe there's no chance of victory. There's no fun in that kill. Let Justin Herbert and his companions score back-to-back TDs. My goodness, Liquid LA having a lead? This is surely going to hold and in no way lead to a close Chiefs win. Kansas City will begin a long drive of their own, gnawing away at the Charger defense, but it won't be enough to score 6. A field goal from Matthew Wright is their only reward. Not San Diego must charge forth, and the patented Harbaugh drive is their staple. slowly chip away at the rival standing in their midst and push them back to field goal range. But they need a touchdown. They don't get it. They're forced to rely on Dicker the kicker to take a 2-point lead with about 5 minutes left in the fourth. We already know what this means. Turn off the TV, this game's over. Oh no, Kansas City's making a final push down the field with a chance to win? How absolutely surprising. Making the clutch seem so mundane, a Chiefs standard. With the allegations of rigging the game cry throughout the night.
This is for the division, for the Chiefs. And right off the upright, and in for the division!
All you can do is laugh. Only the Chiefs can pull off such bullshit in this modern age. They have truly been blessed by the gods to win the AFC West. Let every other franchise be envious of their might and luck. You know every single one would be doing unspeakable horrors to get it for themselves. This former hero may have made a heel turn, but Kansas City embraces it well. They did go through a half-century of failure to earn it. Justin Herbert also earned that leg contusion, if you know what I mean. The bullshit is real. Never forget it.
Okay. Woo! Lord, Lord.
Like The Simpsons, these are franchises that have been well past their prime for decades. Which is also why this game wasn't flexed. The NFL's pulling a solid for the sake of fan service. What fan service they're aiming for is anyone's guess. Consider these two groups like Marge's voice actress. Should be put out to pasture and their talent shredded by age and wear. Kind of like Zach Martin, but less sad than his potential career-ending injury. Still as bad as these defenses on the field of play. Who knew that bad unit facing bad unit would lead to a complete mess of missed tackles? If Dak were still healthy, it would have been even worse for the Bungles. So instead, we get something as uncanny as The Simpsons in 3D. It's definitely a game. That's all I'll say about that. It goes on for far too long and merely exists for the sake of nostalgia, nothing better being on. And I'm saying this as a guy who loved The Simpsons 20 years ago. Speaking of that number, the game's tied at 20 in the fourth quarter. And it will continue to be tied at 20. It's still tied at 20. Is either team gonna do anything? The defense has finally managed to show up 45 minutes late, but at least they're keeping things close. With time winding down, it feels like Dallas bullshit will prevail. Joe Burrow's head might have gotten all but ripped off, but Jerry Boy Venmoed the refs to keep his team's minuscule chances alive. And they're gonna get more than that when they get the ball back.
That's blocked! And picked up by Cincinnati out across the 46.
Oh, didn't you people learn in high school? Peter, you imbeciles! Peter! That is such a Cowboys way to lose a football game. Have everything line up perfectly and then Amari Oruwariye becomes the second coming of Leon Lett. Way to go, you fool. The defensive momentum squashed and Jamar scores easily for Cincy to take the lead. Game over, season thrown in the perpetually burning tire fire. And the loss is far from the worst thing that happened to them tonight. DeMarvion Overshown has been one of the few bright spots on the Cowboys. That light shattered like his knee. So horrifying and brutal that he may be out all of 2025. What a fucking shame. It's official, the gods are pissed at Jerry Jones. We'll keep sleeping on Dallas, Micah. At this point, the whole franchise is jumping off the Springfield Gorge. 1 month left. Get your tickets to the postseason ready now or be left out in the cold. We know the drill by now. The AFC hasn't seen much change from last week. No clinchings, but Pittsburgh's one step closer. Houston, Baltimore, and Denver were on bye, but the Chargers lost to Kansas City's Black Magic, make it a three-way tie. It's not set in stone. Indianapolis is a paper-soft schedule to end the year. Beating Denver will go a long way towards a hilarious berth. Miami and Cincinnati are both still alive, but have a steep road ahead of them. The NFC's road is still undecided. Detroit stays ahead with a crucial win over Green Bay, but Philly and Minnesota are still hot on their tail. Thanks to Atlanta's catastrophic implosion, Tampa Bay has reasserted itself for the NFC South lead. The Seahawks still remain on top of the NFC West, but things could be getting shaky there with a loss on Thursday. A bye week for Washington maintains their 7th seed, yet rivals remain. The Rams and Niners won in. There's a chance the Falcons could get their shit together. Arizona could make miracles happen. Probably not, but you aren't out of the dance until you hear the dreaded words told to a few teams already. You know them by heart.
Don't get eliminated!
Bring out Jadid!
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Bring out Jadid!
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Bring out, Jaden!
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost.
Ah, thanks very much. That's all. See you on Thursday. Right!
'Twas the season of shopping, both online and at stores. While us fans are excited for Christmas game gore, all the Yinzers awaited blackout drunk in their cots, unaware in the store there's new merch to be bought, new goodies and gadgets that can't be beat. The downfall of Cleveland, a delight ever sweet. New designs galore for family or yourself, because who even likes Brownie the Elf? But look further still, as 20 years have passed since the Steelers first plucked less than 8 wins out of their ass. Where's the hockey, you say? With merch, what a pair! Come, children, let me horrify you with tales of Pierre Kramer. Just take a look, there's something for all. From the tiniest trinkets to the grandest of hauls. One final stanza for you viewers so sweet. Use code STANDARD for a discount and possible treat. Now off to bed, young whippersnapper. The Yinzermobile awaits my loving canter.
When he broke one for 65 yards in the Super Bowl down in Arizona against Philadelphia a couple years. Didn't go for a touchdown, but he could. Oh my goodness! Now he's got more explaining to do on the sideline. That is recovered by the same guy who threw the football at. Oh, Skoranek.